All right, joining us now is Tiger football as we are getting ready for the start of the 2021 season. The Tigers open it next Friday against Valencia, and we're joined by Coach Cisco and some of his players. Coach, how are you?
Hey, Charles, how are you, man? It's the 2021 season, but is it the second season of 2021? Or, I mean, how are we going to term that?
I don't know. I just kind of think of what happened in the spring was 2020 for some reason.
It was tied to that, but it's a little awkward. I mean, we turned all that equipment in April 4th, I believe. And then we reissued it about 3 months later, so we're not used to that.
No, yeah, I mean, that's something you guys are done with that before Thanksgiving in a regular year. So
yeah, and there's some time off. I mean, it's been pretty hectic from when that season ended to starting in the summer and kind of going about a normal summer that we haven't had in 2 years, and then getting into this season and going. It's been pretty crazy and hectic, but our kids have adapted and our coaches have worked hard, and I mean, we're excited for the second half of the 2021 season. We'll see.
There you go, exactly. And of course, obviously, a new group of seniors, a new group of players this year. So obviously, I mean, that's getting used to everybody is a little bit different. I'm sure
it is. And with our group this year in the fall, I want to say we only have about 10 seniors. So our numbers are up than what they were in the spring, and then they're higher than what they were in 2019. So our numbers keep growing. This class is a small class. We got a big junior class and a big sophomore class to back it up. And that's going to be the challenging part, is get those kids to come along really fast.
Yeah. If you want to introduce the four that you brought with you.
I got four seniors here that are all going to play for us. Right now we got John Audette, who's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Okay. Napu Mendiola, who's a running back and DB for us. Christian Kennedy, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. And then Anthony Mello is quarterback.
Okay. Guys, you doing okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Happy to have you here. John, you sat in the seat next to Coach, so you get to go first in all this. First off, how was the summer? Did you have some fun in the 7-on-7s?
Oh yeah, I definitely did. It was my first time doing it since the year before COVID. I busted my head open.
Oh no!
So I couldn't do it. So I honestly think it was a fun experience, and I got to teach all the little kids how to do a bunch of stuff as well.
All right, that's very good. What do you get the most out of? I mean, it's just the experience of being around the guys, and I mean, do you gain anything to apply to the football season for 7-on-7s?
Honestly, if we were to play how we were to just be gap sound, during the lineman challenges, I feel like you would learn something. Other than that, it's just pass and run block.
Yeah. Napu, obviously being an offensive player, sometimes that helps a little bit more with in 7-on-7s. You get to do, I mean, lineman challenges. Hopefully, I mean that helps as well. But how did you enjoy the 7-on-7s this summer?
Well, I missed quite a bit of them just because I also had track, and then right after that I came out, and just like reiterating everything into my brain really helped me a lot. Got to relearn basically everything over again, but you learn it faster.
Yeah, you didn't have much of an off season. You kind of just jumped in one thing to the next. I mean, are you in better shape, you feel like, maybe than other seasons, or I mean, is it more of a challenge? I mean, what's it been like for you?
Well, I had to go from like track shape to football shape.
Yeah.
So at first it was kind of just like the running's easy, but the lifting's hard. Now I'm starting to get more into football shape, where I'm starting to lift more, starting to run better on the field.
Okay, very good. Christian, how did you enjoy the 7-on-7s?
It was fun. Learned a lot. Had to help a few kids out throughout it, but otherwise it was a great experience.
And just being able to do something during the summer compared to 2020 to 2021, was that nice for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just being around the guys.
Yeah, it was a experience coming in from like the season before this, coming in straight into summer workouts to football. It was an experience, and just had to adapt.
Okay, very good. Anthony, I mean, obviously 7-on-7s are made for receivers and quarterbacks and running backs in a lot of ways. I mean, the lineman challenge obviously has made it something fun for the big guys to do too, but how was your experience throughout the summer?
This 7-on-7 really let me fulfill a leadership role. Yeah. We have a young team this year, and last year our receivers were all seniors. They knew what they were doing. But this year it's really important that I have to step up and teach these young guys and make sure everything's rolling smooth on the field. And if they have questions, they know they can come ask me.
Yeah. So. And last year, of course, I mean, as a quarterback, you kind of got thrown into the fire. It was a short season. You didn't have much to get ready for it. Is your confidence level higher, that you've had some more time to work on your quarterback skills?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm at practice. You can see me out there. I'm having fun. Just I know all the plays and everything, so it's really about these younger kids and making sure the program continues.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, I know during the summer, maybe the biggest thing for you is conditioning. I mean, these guys being in the weight room and doing the things they need to do, and I know you have a certain number of workouts these guys got to be involved in order to get ready for the season, right?
Yeah, it's a huge issue, and it's not an issue with us. It's something that we pride ourselves on. Our big deal in the summer is we want kids not being lazy, and we make them get up in the morning, come get a workout in, come get their 2-hour workout in, and the kids that don't do that, they're not going to be rewarded in the end. So we want total investment in the program. So when they have to hit that certain number, that's so we know they're investing in the program. When they're investing in the program, then we got a shot. But we got to get those kids, and we had a really good turnout this summer. It's an awkward situation because it's been so long since we did any of this. We went in there. We had 6 or 7 kids that have ever participated in a summer conditioning.
Wow. Okay.
And when we started talking about 7-on-7, we had 2 in June that have ever participated in an actual 7-on-7 against somebody else.
Well, yeah, I mean, because we didn't have 7-on-7s last summer and all that.
And that's the change is these young kids haven't done it. And so we had to pare a lot of things down in the spring. And so then we've really thrown a ton of stuff at these kids on both sides of the ball all summer to get them to adapt and grow to get us back to where we should be for a full season, since we didn't get to do that in the fall.
And I know, I mean, you were encouraged by the numbers on the freshman side. I mean, we haven't had middle school football for a season as well, and for the amount of guys that have come out at the freshman level, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's encouraging. We're over 100 kids in our program, which is something I don't think we've hit since I've been here. And coming off a pandemic year and shut down where those middle school kids haven't played and our sophomores haven't played, and I mean it's a real eerie situation and a real crazy thing to deal with. But to see the kids come out and you already know I love our kids. Our kids are the hardest working kids in that school. They get after it. They don't like necessarily getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning for practice, but
at least it's not cold though, right? At 5:30.
Yeah,
right?
When it gets to November, it gets a little chilly. It's a little different, but they do things the right way, and that's all I can ask for. And so they're fully invested in our program, and so our coaches are going to be fully invested in them to make sure they're successful.
Yeah. Anthony, I mean, you were talking about it a little bit in terms of building up some of these guys that maybe haven't had quite the same amount of experience that you guys have had. What are the things that the coaches have maybe been expecting you guys to help them with and to help them move along throughout the last few weeks?
Definitely our route running and our knowledge of plays and just memorizing that. We have some kids that they're confused and they do study and everything. Just they always ask. There's always been kids that are asking questions, and they just come up to me or a coach, and we tell them, and then they go onto the field and they do what they're supposed to do. And what I can do is just put the ball in the right spot and have them make a play.
All right. Christian, I mean, what have you felt that has helped out some of the guys that are sophomores, juniors? Because I mean, if the sophomores and juniors, and I mean, if everybody's not working together, it's obviously going to make a difference for you guys in terms of being successful, right?
Honestly, just the younger kids trying to come up and ask me or John questions and just try to get help, and some of them don't, but some of them do. Yeah. And if they do, then it really shows who's been studying and who's been asking questions compared to some kids who just don't want to put in the work, who won't at the end of the day just man up and come and do it.
Yeah. In being that part of your role, do you feel like that's helped you personally in terms of the way that you approach every single day out there?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Definitely has.
Okay.
And it showed a lot more in everything.
Okay. Napu, I mean, how about you? I mean, in terms of helping out your fellow teammate and getting them ready for the start of the season, how have you approached that? Because again, it seems like the coaches are dependent on you guys to help out with that.
Well, I personally urge them to ask questions. I still ask questions every once in a while. You can even ask Mello. We'll break a huddle. I'll ask him. I just if I line up true, if it's this way or that way, it's not a bad thing to ask questions. It's a bad thing to mess up a play. And if they mess up a play, a lot of the times they'll just stop. And that's also something that I personally don't like. If you're going to run a certain route and it's the wrong route, go full speed, do it. Maybe something will open up.
Yeah. Okay. John, I mean, how about you? I mean, and just the atmosphere of the team, and that you have some guys that are needing to kind of play catch up a little bit. Still really good camaraderie among the team and being able to help each other out with all that.
Yeah, like Coach said, we only have 10 seniors, so there's only so much us seniors can do in helping the little kids. So I try my best to make sure all of our offensive linemen know our run plays. We like to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And we have to have every tackle, guard, or center perfect. We can't lack on anything. So I'm there to make sure that they know what they're doing. And then on the defensive line, we run stunts, a lot of stuff these little dudes just need to learn. Yeah. And I'm there to help.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, it's an experience, but the certainly over the next few weeks we'll find. I mean, those guys are going to get the experience and learn the things that they need to learn, right?
They will, and it's a credit to these kids that have been in our program for 4 years now, and especially this group of seniors. They're so committed to our program and the success of the program from this year till 10 years down the road when they're gone. They'll bend over backwards to help these young kids and get along, and they understand the importance. These young kids, our young sophomores and juniors, have got to grow up.
Yeah, and
it's going to be trial by fire with them at first, but these older group, the senior groups, have done a good job of putting them on their wing, trying to coach them, and trying to protect them from maybe myself or another coach getting after them. So. And it's a credit to them. They care about winning. John's traded positions for what's best for the team. He was a tight end, and now he's going to change a number and be a fat dude that plays guard. So, and like I said, it's that those young kids are going to grow up, and they're good kids. Yeah. They work hard, so it's exciting. It's exciting to see them kind of gel and the dynamics between our group.
Yeah. John, how has that transition been for you to move the offense? I mean, I know you blocked a lot as a tight end last year, so has it been that difficult a transition, or is it just that, hey, you don't get to run pass routes anymore?
Honestly, we've probably tried 2 run routes last year with me, and I got 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's every lineman's dream. So I was super happy. But moving to guard, I love pulling. I love running everyone down. And I have my center next to me, John Cunningham. He's a real good offensive lineman. He's a real good captain on the line. He has the brains of us, and he'll tell us everything. So I honestly really like offensive line.
Yeah. And are you going to be doing some defense as well this year?
I think I'm second runner-up.
Okay.
I want to let these little dudes get it.
Yeah.
And Mason Tripp, one of our defensive linemen, I want him to get it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and he's definitely not a little dude.
No.
He's a younger dude, but there's not little there at all for sure. Napu, I mean, running back is something that's going to be interesting this year because different guys are going to get an opportunity. Sean obviously had a great couple seasons last year. Are you excited about the opportunity being back there at running back?
Personally, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I've kind of been like a floater between running back and receiver since my sophomore year for varsity.
Yeah.
But having guys like John Cunningham, and Christian over here blocking for me, just picking up their block, running behind them, running with them, that's something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah. And are you going to get some time on the defense as well this year?
At corner, yes.
At corner? Okay. All right. Are you excited? I mean, and you played corner last year as well, right?
I played kind of like a corner safety.
Corner safety,
okay. But this year they want me to be strictly corner, and I'm really excited for that.
You feeling confident on the defensive side this year?
I feel pretty confident.
Yeah. Okay.
I love my safeties.
All right. Christian, I mean, obviously he's speaking high of you and your ability to go out there and block. You, I mean, you excited about, where your skills are at heading into this season?
Yes, sir. I really am. Just I think our line is really good. We got John Cunningham and John, and we have others who are pretty good, and we have Napu in the backfield who can go up the gaps. I'm hoping we're gonna succeed in that part.
And certainly with this team and how much you run the ball, I mean, you guys up front, it's maybe the biggest key on whether you guys are going to go out there and win some football games this year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you like having that pressure on your back?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it.
All right, very good. And defensively, are you going to see some time on that side a little bit?
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know. As we have younger kids who they're gonna have to step up.
Yeah. And
they're gonna have to play defense, D line, and maybe some O line.
Yeah, absolutely. And Anthony, I mean, obviously you got 3 guys here that are going to be key on you having some success as well. We've obviously seen you can throw the ball really well. I mean, in terms of your running game, where do you feel in running the football? I mean, is that something we're going to see from you at times throughout the year, you feel like?
Well, at the end of last season, Cisco came up to me and he told me, hey, you got to get faster, I'm too slow. But this year, I think I worked on that, and I think I can pop a couple off this year. Took him to the house, hopefully. But.
Well, Coach over here was having some fun with that.
15 is okay, Mello. 15 is okay. That's a first down, dude.
Well, and I will tell you what. I mean, I thought your ability to evade in the backfield was impressive last year. Is that something you take pride on, that maybe you can slip a tackle from one guy or a couple of guys?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's one of my biggest skills, I think, is evading and finding pressure outside of the pocket and being able to make a play.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing that you've tried to improve on in terms of throwing the football going into this season?
I'd say the speed of the ball, speed of the spin. Really got to sling it in there, tight thread the seams, and just put the ball in the receiver's hands.
All right. Well, Coach, I mean, we've obviously got running back, couple offensive linemen, your quarterback here. Who are some of the guys we should be looking out for this year that are going to have a big impact on this football team this season?
You start thinking offensively. We've got Darius Washington's another offensive lineman. John Cunningham's returning center for us from last year's team. So we are older up front. We might not be as experienced at this level, but they are going to be a senior loaded group. And then you got kids like Damon Mayberry, Ryan Stovall, who are going to play both sides of the ball. That'll carry us in the secondary. Michael Metcalf's going to be a receiver in a secondary for us. And then you got all our young kids. Like I just mentioned, Stovall Mayberry. You're going to have Mason Trips, a junior, Joey Marquez, Elias Mata. There's a bunch of those young kids that are going to have to grow up real fast. A big part of our success this year is going to be a kid named Michael Moyers. And he's going to be huge for us, playing both sides of the ball, playing tight end, fullback, and linebacker. So we're excited for that kid. And it's exciting to see these kids grow up and do these things. But I mean, this group of seniors has developed, and we're doing a lot more offensively now than we did before. And we have to change who we are. I mean, we're not the same team for the last 2 years when we could hand it to the big bull behind us and let him go downhill and pound on people. So we've had to be a little bit more creative. And Mello's done a good job. I mean, you can see the growth in him mentally and being able to handle all this and adapt, and then start coaching the younger kids.
And of course, again, nice to have special teams feeling pretty comfortable going into the year.
Yeah, we got a kicker.
Braden.
For at least 2 more years, we got a kicker. After that, it might be a struggle to find somebody who can kick it, but that's always the best thing. And I've told you this is very few high school coaches in the country can say they have a kicker, and they're confident and they can just kind of walk away and be good. So that's 2 more years of peace and mind. Peace and mind for me.
Of money. I mean, it's been pretty good for the Alamogordo football program.
Yeah, I told Bob, I said, you got to start finding some more kids, man. When your kids are going, we got some more kickers.
Got maybe recruit, find some of those. See if we can get some soccer players or something like that to come out there and do a little bit more of kicking this year. So, I guess I would ask for you guys. I mean, goals heading this season. John, we'll start with you. I mean, personally, what are you hoping to get out of this senior year for yourself?
So for this senior year, I already beat my goal. I wanted to beat Mason Tripp and bench, and I did. So, but I just want to have a season where I know that I taught the kids right, and they'll be good for the next 2 years in this program.
Awesome. And I'm sure at the end of the day, you guys want to go out and win some football games.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I do. This season, I really want to. We have a full season, and it's been crazy last season only having what we have, 5 games.
Yeah.
That was just
5
crazy.
weeks practice.
Yep. So coming from summer, those 2 days were rough, but now we're coming to this next week. We got a game, and I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Yeah, and just 1 home game last year. I'm sure more than anything else, you guys are excited to get 5 home games this year. Napu, I mean, how about you? What are you hoping to get out of this senior year for yourself?
Well, for as long as I've been in the program, everybody's always talked down on Tiger football, even if they didn't really mean it, but they've always kind of just been like, oh, it's just football. We'll go to the games, but we're not actually going to support them. We're just going to go to have fun at the games. Where I want to leave with this season, knowing that we could change that whole thing. And like Coach has said, we have a lot of young kids that have a lot of talent. They just need to get taught, put into the group. But I really hope that we could leave knowing that we changed the mindset looking at Tiger football.
All right, very good. Christian, what are you hoping to enjoy the most about this last year of high school football?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, just kind of winning games, and I want to show the state how Alamogordo shouldn't be looked upon. It should be something that's been talked about for years instead of just being a school that's it's Alamo. It's their football program.
Want to change the attitude that some people may have. I got you. Anthony, how about you, man?
Ever since 7th grade, I've been looking at this program, and I've just wanted to be a senior and make memories. That's one of the big things I'm looking forward to this year is playing with all the guys that I've played with since 7th grade and being able to go out with some make an impact on this community and win some football games.
All right, Anthony. I mean, plans after high school. Have you started thinking about that? What's coming up next for you? I mean, I know graduation's a ways away compared to when we were talking to the seniors. I think back in March. But what have you started thinking about? What's next?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to go to college and try to continue my athletic career and get a degree in criminal justice and go into law enforcement.
Okay, very good. Christian, you know what's coming up next for you, man?
No, sir.
No?
Not a clue yet.
All right.
Stuck between college and the military.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll figure that out at some point over the next 9 months or so.
Yes, sir.
Napu, how about you?
I have a couple options.
Yeah.
Where I've also been thinking about joining the military, but then I've also thought about going to Zuni Electric, getting a certification over there, being an electrician.
Okay.
And stay here, my hometown. Is where I was raised. It wasn't where I was born, though. But I wouldn't mind staying here for a little bit longer. Probably go do both. Go get my electrician certification after a couple years. Go join the military.
Okay, very good. You guys have got things more planned out than I did when I was in high school. John, how about you, man?
So I think for right now, my first choice is going to go study real estate.
Okay.
But I think my second choice is for sure going to be the military.
Okay, very good. Well, that's awesome. There's so many guys that want to get involved with our armed forces and us being a military community. I think everybody will be really proud to hear that. Coach, you know, when you look at the strengths of this group this year and what you're excited to see from this team this year, what has you most excited for the upcoming season?
The chance to play an actual season.
Yeah.
The fact that we got to prepare a little bit for the season. It's not as in detail as maybe we would normally have again, but still it's an opportunity to play football. We get an opportunity next Friday to play at home under the lights in our stadium, which we haven't had but 2 of those in the last year or 2 years. So that's the exciting part, just to get to play football and get back to some sense of normalcy, even with the kids going back to school, being in-person learning. And I don't know if you want to define it as the new normal or whatever it is, but it's a comfort level for our kids to get into. And they kind of get back into that routine of how it's supposed to be, of waking up 5 a.m. every morning for practice at 5:30. Games on Friday night, film Saturday morning, and getting them back into that routine, that's the exciting part. And not for us as coaches or anything, it's just for our kids to see those kids get into that, what they know and what they love to do, and get the chance to do it.
All right, awesome. Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you guys Friday night against Valencia. It's I know it's going to be a fun season, and hope you guys really enjoy it. Thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charles. Go Tigers.